All right, well, today we're going to explore where "why didn't I think of that" comes from. But we're not going to focus on the "that" part. All right, that's what so many of us focus on when we think about innovation. Today we're going to focus on the "I think" part of the sentence. As we round out everything that you've been learning, we're going to set our eyes on innovation. And not our big eyes, mind you, right? Because you're already in the thick of grappling with big I innovation, right? You know, big I innovation. How to use predictive analytics and machine learning to increase customer loyalty, right? And then, I'm sure it gets scarier than that. Like how to harness cognitive computing to create the most effective incentives and the most competitive margins, right? No, not scary. All right, we'll go scarier then. How your company can stay competitive when a customer's AI assistant enters your till list store through VR as your Android customer service rep directs them to virtual aisle number 7, where they can 3D print their order of 30 organic pot brownies using their biometric loyalty stamp before paying for them in Bitcoin. Huh? Right? I get it. It's scary stuff. I get it. But all those scary big I innovations, right, they begin with little I innovation. The small, incremental, cumulative shifts in your personal perspective that lead to personal innovation via personal disruption.
And to do that, I gotta take the risk in order to evolve. I gotta push myself into uncomfortable spaces to try to make a greater point. I gotta be okay with taking you on a journey, knowing that you don't yet see where we're going, and being okay with your discomfort, because that is how growth happens. Innovators see the world through the machete-shaped lens of a trailblazer who is accustomed to standing in the center of wilderness and being the only one who sees the inevitable path. Problem is, you can't blaze the trail if you are afraid to fail. So if you don't want someone making it easy for you to fail, then you better get out there and fail yourself. And I mean fail good, right? Fail forward, fail smart. And then wear that intellectual capital like proud battle scars. And you're thinking, did they mean to do that? What just happened here right now? Is there a union problem? AV's freaking out. We don't know. And that's the point. If every attempt that you make ends with a win, well, then you need to risk deeper. Don't hit an organ, but pierce the skin. They say your best teacher is your last mistake. I say, you win some, you learn some. You win some, you learn some with each risk you take. So create a safe space for you to fail forward in new ways. Empower your team to think trail forward when they blaze. Help them adopt lime green catsuit Fridays. Make successful failure your culture's new fashion craze. Stock Chanel splints in the desks of your C-suite execs and Armani gauze in the glove boxes of all your sales reps. Hand out Neosporin at your staff meetings and tell them, don't come back here without lacerations. Right? If you don't want to be out improvised by the fluidity of someone else, you need to yes and yourself. That's it. Yes and yourself. Anybody here taking an improv class? Anybody? It is disruptive training 101. It will train you how to embrace disruption. Why? Because the foundational principle of improv is yes and. Whatever is happening, yes, and watch what I do with it. Whatever thrown at you, yes, and watch where I take it. Whatever comes for you, yes, and watch how I transform it. When you begin to have that mentality, you become a powerful embodiment of disruption. Does it work? I'll tell you from my end.
There was a Harvard Business Review study that I read one time that talked about carpenters who were trying to create better respiratory masks, and so they were trying to figure out who should we ask for ideas. ideas to create these better respiratory safety masks. So they said, okay, we're going to ask other carpenters. We're going to ask, slightly tangential to our industry, we're going to ask roofers. And then let's go all the way over here and we're going to ask inline skaters. Why not? And of course, they got decent ideas from the carpenters. They got more innovative ideas from the roofers. But all the way over here, they got the most radical, innovative ideas from people who had little to do with their industry. And the study revealed that the more distant the field, the more novel the ideas. So when you are in communities like this, when you're in situations like this, don't just go to the breakout sessions. Don't just network with the people who are dealing with the exact same thing you're dealing with. Go to the breakout sessions that are radically different, that have nothing to do with what you think your challenge is, and figure out how to apply what they're teaching to your challenge. That's how you begin cracking open.
An extension of this mindset can help you move from just enhancing yourself to also enhancing your staff through diversity and inclusion. Remember, diversity is disruptive. Diversity is disruption. You train your culture to welcome diversity, and you create a culture where you can also welcome disruption with open arms. That is why companies that are inclusive and diverse, they are financially stronger, they are smarter, and they outperform their counterparts. We know that research, but why? Why is that the case? Because homogeneous cultures lead to homogeneous teams that reinforce homogeneous decisions. So in order to create diverse mosaics of teams that outperform everybody else, first, you as the leader need to mosaic yourself. You train yourself to become a leader who seeks out those diverse perspectives and welcomes them.
Between competitors and kings, between countries and human beings, between fingers and screens, between man and machine. See, once your concept of collaboration includes the diverse perspective of other humans, it just becomes easier to value technology as simply another member of the team. Robotics becomes the helping hand that extends your reach into your community, right? Neural networks become your red team that sees the threats and the patterns that you missed. Artificial intelligence becomes the collaborator that superpowers your purpose.
Creating a culture where there is no I in team, but there is always an AI in team. So if you don't want your enterprise to be out-enhanced by someone else, let your enterprise be augmented the same way that you augment yourself. Our personal lives, we are already part robot. We are already half emotion and half emoji. And we have screens for fingertips. And we can't remember more than 2 phone numbers without the digital twin brain in our pocket or purse. You are $6 million men and bionic women who are better, faster, stronger, due to your collaboration with technology in your personal lives, which helps you become better, faster, and stronger in your enterprise. Not only because you've catalyzed your organization through innovation with a big I, but because you've catalyzed yourself by viewing innovation through your little eyes, through a mindset that says, I am innovation. What that looked like for me is that I had to be brave enough to embody what it is that I'm talking about, even though it feels different to an audience. I had to be brave enough to bring my humanity to every single stage that I touch. Listen, if you want to deepen your leadership and your connections with everyone else, you have got to humanize yourself.
That is why when I stand on this stage, I am never, ever speaking to the person who needs to know how to deliver and manage technology and innovation and generate savings for the healthcare system, all while staying laser focused on positively impacting the total cost of quality care. I mean, that's very important stuff. I'm just guessing there's probably somebody in the room better equipped to do that than me. No, in every business communication, regardless of the topic, I am always speaking to the human being who just needs to know how to bounce back after a devastating loss. The person who is trying to figure out how to lead someone else when she's surrounded by darkness herself. To the person who feels broken and unseen and overwhelmed, I am always speaking to the fallen and the almost fallen and those fearful of becoming fallen. Because just like that little kid on the playground, and every one of us who has been that little kid in our company, in our industry, I too know what it is to be fallen. And sometimes that is all the people that we lead need to hear. Sometimes as leaders, as people, the best way, the greatest way that we can show our strength is to show our vulnerability. One of the most powerful catalysts for little I innovation can be found in community and partnership and collaboration. So if you don't want to be out-teamed by the collaborative culture of someone else, every single one of you must ecosystem yourself.
This is where why didn't I think of that comes from. You got to be willing to share your creative solutions and your unorthodox perspectives and unexpected best practices to harness the power of collaboration. It is the exchange of your collective intellectual capital that makes your whole greater than the sum of your smarts. That's the reason why there's got to be oneness among you, so that when you're sharing best practices, when you're sharing radical ideas, when you're creating a culture of innovation, you're creating it with a sense of cohesion around one purpose, one team, one brand, one collective aligned, serving one purpose with one heart and one mind, one culture, one identity, one symbol that shines as a beacon for wellness for one person at a time. And that is why I am here, to remind you that you are here because everything you want to innovate begins right here. Innovation is simply the act of creativity for the purpose of creation. When insight creates invoices, well, we call it innovation. And its integral catalytic ingredient is collaboration, the intersection of industries ignited by inspiration. Innovation is the difference between asking, why didn't I think of that? And, why didn't I think like that?
Thank you. Thank you.